Hi guys, Professor Gustavo here. Just finished my noon class at Dynamics MMA, and today I want to talk a little bit about a hot topic here, the whole thing about self-defense versus sports jiu-jitsu. I don't know why people like to separate the two things, It's the same thing to me. It's one thing only. It's jiu-jitsu, right? If you are a black belt in jiu-jitsu and hopefully one day you become a black belt, you have to know everything. You have to know self-defense side, you have to know the sports side, you have to know no-gi, you have to know gi, top game, bottom game, leg lock, takedowns, everything, right? Don't separate things. Don't limit yourself, okay? I just posted a video, I shared a video from the great BJJ Scout on my page today. They had this short clip from last week in Pan Ams where one guy, a black belt under Atos team, was, Andris Brunovics, that's his name. He was doing a warm guard. Instead of controlling the lapel, he was controlling the belt. So that's very innovative. I haven't seen before. Most people haven't seen. I'm sure they do that all the time at the headquarters, the Atos team over there. But, anytime something new, some new move comes up, that we have two types of people. Some people cheering about it, saying that jiu-jitsu is great, it's always evolving, it's a never-ending learning process. And then we have people that criticize, saying that, oh, that's not really jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is supposed to be self-defense. If you try that type of stuff on the street, you're gonna get punched in the face and all that stuff. So first thing, it was clear that was a jiu-jitsu tournament, right? Jiu-jitsu tournament, we have rules. Striking is not allowed. So don't even bring that into the conversation here, right? It's obvious that they are following the rules. If the rules do not allow strike, don't worry about strike, right? That doesn't mean that he doesn't know how to defend himself if he needs to. That's a big mistake that I see in jiu-jitsu community. People just assume that just because you do the crazy sporty stuff, just because you invert, just because you do reverse de la riva to kiss of the dragon and all the crazy stuff, berimbolo, just because you do that, people assume that you can't defend yourself, you can't fight, which is not true, right? I've heard that Andres is actually a excellent fighter. He knows how to strike. I think he has some MMA fights, or if he doesn't have, at least he knows how to defend himself. That's what's the most important. If you guys know my story, you guys know that I'm a black belt under Fabricio Verdun, and we used to train everything: Vale Tudo, MMA, gi, no gi. Fabricio is a MMA champion, ADCC no gi champion, world's champion with the gi. So you can train everything. Don't limit yourself. Don't limit yourself. We used to train all this type of crazy stuff. He would go and invert. He would wear his gi, even though he was training for MMAs. He would wear his gi and invert and do lapel type of guard. Always interested in learning new stuff. So that's a great example coming from the top. One guy who has conquered pretty much all the titles, possible titles in the grappling world and also in the MMA. He doesn't only focus on the MMA thing, on self-defense. Oh, but if I invert now, I can get punched in the face. No, let's have some fun. Let's have the sports side and the self-defense side all together. We don't have to separate that. Learn everything, train everything, all styles. Don't limit yourself, and all you have to do is select the correct mindset and techniques for the specific situation that you're facing. That's it. Don't overcomplicate things. And of course, you can have your preferences. Maybe you like more sport, or you like more self-defense. Maybe your gene focuses on more on one side than the other, but still, you should learn everything. Don't limit yourself just because you heard someone saying, oh, jiu-jitsu is not this, jiu-jitsu is supposed to be like this. You do whatever you want, do what you like, especially nowadays, like I said, old days, old school people, yes, that's what they learned. It was self-defense back then, mostly, right? There was few tournaments and competitions there. So jiu-jitsu was really made for self-defense, and it still is. You just add the sports side if you like it. I remember when I started 20 years ago, there wasn't many, people who were training at that time were training to fight and training to compete. There wasn't really jiu-jitsu for hobby or let's flow roll. No, there wasn't anything like that. It was, you know, trying to kill each other every day. Every day was fighting for your life. You know, I know that's not really the most, it doesn't make much sense business-wise, but at that time, no one cared about business. You know, it was all about representing the art. The place where I come from, my hometown is Curitiba, so we had a huge rivalry against the Chute box. We were ready to represent at any moment, represent Jiu-Jitsu against other martial arts, and there was a lot of stuff going on at the time, lots of fights breaking, but we were still having fun and training everything, not only MMA, but also, you know, still training for competitions and everything with the gi, all the crazy stuff at the time, deep half guard, all that stuff. So, you know, don't worry too much. So just keep training, don't limit yourself, and become a well-rounded grappler. That's the goal, more than anything.